Everyone goes through difficult times and still able to move on. It's part of life. I, however, could not recover easily from a series of setbacks. Some events in my life went awfully wrong and I suffered professionally and financially. Things continue to deteriorate since then. The disappointments and the losses kept haunting me every day. I was emotionally disturbed. I was feeling frustrated, angry, anxious, and even mildly depressed. My family suffered due to my changed behavior and conditions. My personal health deteriorated, and as a result, I was aging very fast. I thought I was finished. As they say, time heals everything. I was hoping for some favorable time to recover from it, but it was not. I was not so lucky. With time, I had accepted the reality of my miserable life, yet I kept asking myself the question like, is there really a way to recover from this misery, or why do I have to depend on the luck for it? One day I recalled a sutra that seemed to be the answer to my questions. Originally in Sanskrit, the sutra meant to find success and happiness in life, one should overcome these six obstacles, which are sleep, lethargy, fear, anger, laziness, and procrastination. The sutra in Sanskrit reads like this: Shat dosha purushena hatavya bhutimikhitam nidra tantra bhayam krodham alasyam cha sutrita. Though I saw wisdom in the sutra, I had no idea how it could be applied to my situation. Thus, I decided to look deeper into this sutra. During the study, I found a fascinating correlation between my misery and the kind of energy I had. I noticed that whenever I achieved something, I was feeling happy and full of energy, while when I was disappointed, I felt lack of energy and unhappy. It means energy is a common factor in happiness, success, failure, and unhappiness. Therefore, if I want to be successful and happy all the time, I should make sure that I was filled with energy all the time. I saw a ray. Let's look at what are the energy. Well, the energy has three forms: physical, emotional, and spiritual. We need physical energy to function physically well, emotional energy for mind to function well, and spiritual energy to drive both body and mind in the life. Spiritual energy is the most powerful form of the energy. While physical and emotional energy can be demonstrated, but spiritual energy can be felt. Spiritual energy is internal to us. How do we get the energy? What are the sources of energy? Well, there are three major sources of energy. One is motivation, other is thought, and the third one is lifestyle. Motivation is the source of spiritual energy or the internal energy. Thought is the source of emotional energy, and lifestyle is the source of physical energy. Let's see how these energy sources work. Invariably, there is a reason behind all our actions and activities. That reason is mostly inspired by a need or a desire to do whatever we do or we are made to do. Like we go to work every day. For some, going to work may be a need to get paid, whereas for some, it may be a desire to do something. Thus, the needs and desires motivates us or pushes us to act and perform. Our needs keep on changing with time as proposed by Maslow's law. Similarly, there are many desires in one's life as proposed by Dr. Rees. You will notice that when we are inspired or motivated to do something, there is a surge of energy within. That energy comes from our core place, we call it the soul. The soul is the ultimate source of energy within each one of us. The soul includes spirit, intellect, will, conscience, awareness, and so forth. We know that our mind, which is the master of the body, attracts a constant stream of thoughts all the time. Every thought produces an emotion and a feeling that causes us to behave in a certain way. Broadly, there are two types of thoughts. One is positive or enabling, and other is negative or disabling. Negative thoughts generates negative feeling and it agitates the mind that depletes the emotional energy. Whereas positive thoughts generates positive feelings that calms down our the mind, nurture the mind, and thereby makes us emotionally well. Hence, the thought affects our emotional energy. It may be strange, but it is true that we attract similar thoughts again and again, like we may attract disabling thoughts one after another, like a chain. The kind of thoughts we attract or choose is influenced by the kind of beliefs we carry. Belief is also one kind of thoughts that we consider to be true. Our beliefs are shaped by the life conditions like environment, people, culture, etc. The human body is a vehicle of all action and activities to accomplish anything and everything. Physical energy serves as the base for every action. The body needs a steady supply of energy to function well. For maintaining an adequate physical energy level, we must remain healthy all the time. How we can live healthy is assured by the kind of lifestyle we adopt. A good lifestyle includes adequate sleep, diet, exercise every day without an exception. Lifestyle is not only takes care of physical health, but it also affects our emotional well-being. Whether we can make our life successful and enjoyable will depend on how well we manage these energy sources and thereby maintain an efficient flow of energy within body, mind, soul system. When this energy is disrupted anywhere, the harmony is disturbed and we feel pain and hence unhappiness. When in harmony, the soul inspires the mind and the mind drives the body, and we accomplish what we want to do and gain happiness. The good news is everyone is naturally wired to live full of energy all the time. Unfortunately, the trap of these six mistakes ends up disturbing one's flow of energy. Let's look at how these mistakes can affect the flow of energy and energy level. The six mistakes affects the energy sources. Um, Laziness and procrastination affects energy source motivation. Fear and anger affects the energy source thought. Sleep and lethargy affects energy source lifestyle. Let's see how laziness blocks the flow of internal energy. When you perform a task or accomplish something, you will notice surge of internal energy. This energy is a natural reward from soul. It motivates us further to keep on accomplishing things and the flow of energy continues. Laziness is one single problem that makes us inactive despite knowing the positives of performing the said action. Thus, laziness puts a brake in the natural flow of internal energy. Laziness can be physical inactivity or mental inactivity. Inactivity breeds a disappointment, which becomes a source of negative thoughts. Laziness is a symptom which has several root causes, such as a lack of motivation, low self confidence, feeling overwhelmed, a fear of failure, or a fear of rejection. Let's see how procrastination blocks the flow of internal energy. Like being lazy, some people keep on postponing things. The habit of postponing things or procrastinating reduces our chances of accomplishment and hence the success. Simply said, it takes our chance to achieve whatever we desire and deserve. People postpone things for several reasons, some of which are laziness, misplaced priority, etc. Procrastination is an excuse that prevents us from starting to do what we need to do than what we would like to do. The result of procrastination is misplaced opportunity or escalated cost of the opportunity and the disappointment. Let's see how fear blocks flow of emotional energy. Fear is a powerful emotion. When we encounter danger, it is natural to feel fear. The sense of fear automatically prepares us to respond to the imminent danger. Our instinct is to run away from the danger for safety. For staying safe, it is wise to perceive danger and stay away from it or create enough protection so that we stay unharmed in case the said danger takes place. Unfortunately, overthinking about the danger can serve uh, to make us worried. We start conceiving danger and become fearful when no such danger exists in reality. Like we conceive threats, creating fear of uncertainty or fear of failure, and this becomes a source of anxiety. Some amount of anxiety is good because it pushes us to be prepared for the new challenges, but constant fear and worry drains us emotionally. When fear occupies the mind for too long, that disrupts the natural flow of emotional energy. Fear and worry also affects us physically. We feel a sensation in our spine, the heart beats faster, the stress level rises. Let's see how anger blocks the flow of internal energy. Like fear, anger is another powerful emotion. Some anger is justified, while some is unnecessary. When something is unpleasant, or we feel indignant, or we are being ill treated, it is natural to feel angry. This is an example of justified anger. This anger pushes us to take a stand. But if someone has a contrary view and if that makes you angry, then that anger may be unnecessary. Getting angry on trivial issues is also unnecessary. Because anger comes with a heavy cost, it is important to feel anger wisely. When one becomes angry, the effect of it can be felt on the body. In extreme anger, the blood pressure shoots up, the body stress level rises. Then comes how we express our anger. The justified anger must be expressed, but it must be expressed wisely. Shouting and behaving violently out of anger is an immature way of expressing anger, and it is harmful both physically and emotionally. When anger is expressed immaturely, it may create havoc on the relationship. Not expressing anger is even worse. Unexpressed anger remains dormant in you. This trapped anger takes a form of other deadly emotions like resentment, which keeps bugging us emotionally as long as it remains dormant. The wise way of expressing anger is to express your point or response softly but firmly. Put the power of anger behind the firmness of expressing the response. Anger drains us emotionally. When anger occupies the mind for far too long, the natural flow of emotional energy is disturbed. Anger affects our ability to think emotionally. There are many forms of anger. Resentment is one of the form. Let's see how sleep affects physical energy. Sleep is the resting time during which many things happen to our body and mind. The damaged cells in the body are repaired for healing. Mind is rejuvenated that makes us ready for next day challenges. Sleep also helps food digestion. When we curtail sleep, the damaged body cells are not repaired naturally and the body healing suffers. Mind is not revitalized and we feel lack of concentration the next day and lack of energy. Let's see how lethargy affects physical energy flow. Diets are converted into body nutrients which serves as energy blocks for the body cell and to the body organs. Exercise helps the body and mind to remain fit. When proper diet is not taken, the required nutrients are missing from the body cell and the body organ function suffers. When exercise is curtailed, excessive energy accumulates in the body as body fat, and that causes blockage in the flow of energy within the body cells. The lack of vital nutrient and the excessive fat makes us lethargic and thus affects our body's ability to function well. It is very difficult to come to the terms with the new reality in case after any loss. People get stuck in grieving their losses. Grieving is a very important process after any and every loss. Some people get stuck in this process for long and becomes depressed, behave angrily. Some people though recover very easily and quite well. Such people are resilient. Resilience is a ability to adopt a new reality easily. The internal energy gives the ability to be resilience. The more you realize your internal energy, the more resilient you become, and hence the ability to face challenges and setbacks quite easily. I realize that life should be taken easy. Unfortunately, I got too much attached to things like success, people, possessions, expectations, etc., and become prisoner of my own thoughts and beliefs. Disappointments are also one kind of thought that is influenced by some of our strong beliefs, like unsuccessful people are losers, one must achieve and possess this and this to have social respect, and so on and so forth. One should always think and ponder, are these beliefs really worth suffering? The frequent bout of fear and anger drains us emotionally and physically, so as other negative thoughts produced by disappointments. The mind becomes weak, it starts wandering and becomes uncontrollable. I was in somewhat similar state. The mind is the most crucial resource and hence need to stay calm all time. A weak mind needs charging. It is always a good idea to seek healthcare professional in such conditions. However, we know that a natural and quick charging can happen when the natural flow of energy from soul, mind, and body is restored. When we involve our soul, the internal energy flow from it will remove every blockage and the mind is charged instantaneously. How do we invoke our soul? Well, there are several ways to stay connected with the soul. I found some of these practices useful, like surrendering, uh, let go, knowledge, seeking knowledge, going to satsang, service to others, love and care, etc. etc. These are our natural qualities. Unfortunately, when we rise in our life or achieve success, we become self centered and arrogant. Our ego grows so much that it comes in our way to get connected with the soul, and hence we lose the power of the internal energy. It's always a good idea to stay internally charged all the times, not only in the difficult times. Living with internal energy all the time will enable us to do more in life and face any challenges without any suffering. This concludes the presentation. Thank you for your time.